This is day 3 of 100 of our Odyssean journey. This stretch would take us from Toledo in Spain, across the Pyrenees, through France, and into the Swiss Alps. But more than geography, this part of the journey was about companionship and connection.
Leaving Toledo felt unhurried. The city had asked us to slow down, and somewhere we had begun to listen. Today's journey of about 500 kilometers is going to take us mostly along AP36, then along A30 southwards to Mar de Pulpí on the Mediterranean coast.
The road is beautiful, with flowers along the roadsides complementing the smooth tarmac. This 5-hour journey did not feel strenuous at all. As we approached Pulpí, the scenery changed. Palm trees became a regular feature, and new built settlements appeared out of nowhere. We are excited today because we'll be seeing people who would become a part of our journey very soon. Meeting Supratim and Ipshita, who were waiting by the roadside to welcome us, felt like homecoming, away from home. It was a fantastic evening, and parking Chetak in their underground parking lot gave me a palpitation, as I was unsure if I could get through the height clearance of 2.2 meters. But we went through smoothly. Little did we know at this time that the height clearance in a car park would be a major challenge in the days to come.
On a journey this long, companionship becomes more of a strength. We spent that evening preparing for our next morning departure. Today, our journey will be around 500 kilometers northwards to Andorra. Our first stop of day 4 was at a Moroccan restaurant in La Font de la Figuera. The place was in between Alicante and Valencia. It reminded us how travel connects cultures in unexpected ways.
The drive towards Andorra typically begins on the A33-A35 out of the Valencial interior before joining the C14, the main northbound road into Andorra through Catalonia. As per the map, our journey today would be about 7 hours. The scenery changed beautifully as we went. The dry open plains gradually gave way to greener foothills. The broad expanse of the sky through the windscreen made the journey enjoyable. Eventually, the surroundings changed into dramatic Pyrenean views until the road felt as if it was climbing straight into the mountains. The greenery, the clear sky, and the thin air really made us feel at home. We have always loved mountains, and Pyrenees indeed was special. We found a beautiful stay in the middle of the green outfields. We parked Chetak in the secure car park and then made our way into the log cabins. It was a beautiful evening, and the surroundings as well as the accommodation made it even more special for us. I wish we had a couple of more days in this beautiful location. Certainly that would have given me ample opportunities to do justice to my photographic skills. Nonetheless, we knew there was a long journey ahead, and I had to be satisfied with whatever amount of time I had with my camera. Before the day ended, we did our best to raise diabetes awareness within the local community.
Day 5 began by refueling Chetak at Arab Sun Yulia. Next door, we found a place which was serving French breakfast. We filled ourselves with enough food and coffee to sustain us for the 590 kilometers which lay ahead before reaching Lyon. We took the first exit to stay on CG1. Then we came out of Andorra The Andorra exit of the border crossing section was very smooth. We only had to show our passports and drive away. Driving Chetak through these checkposts felt heroic. As we approached the Spanish section of the border control, the scenario changed slightly. We did not know what to expect. The no man's land was a short stretch beyond which there was a surprise. We saw some cars were being randomly pulled over for manual inspection. Our heartbeats increased, but we were fortunate enough not to be one of them. A major delay was avoided. Phew. Past the border control, we found ourselves driving along the D66 and soon reached the Pont Sejourne Viaduct, a spectacular railway bridge in the Pyrenees Orientalis region of France. It is 776 feet long and rises to 213 feet over the Tet River, flowing on our right. We took a small break to photograph this two-story masonry stone bridge. While photographing, we would have loved to have the yellow train in the frame, but the timing was not on our side. Thereafter, the road A9 presented us by a glimpse of the lake Etang de Lucate on our right.
Lovely memories in the making. Today, day 5. Highlight so far was the sumptuous breakfast outside of a petrol station in Andorra.
Reality returned quickly. What was ahead of us was a long queue of traffic, inching forward. On our Google map, we saw a big stretch of A7 flicking between yellow and red. The traffic tested our patience. The estimated time of arrival instantly got pushed back by an hour. Today's journey was long, and it was becoming even longer.
Tiredness, hunger, and frustration were competing against each other. We decided to stay off the city in the pleasant Camping des Eidroches, a mere 80 kilometers from the Lyon city center. The campsite was well equipped with all the necessary facilities that we could think of. We passed several cottages to approach our lodge tent, which was next to the service cabins. After parking Chetak, we stepped out with our stuff that would be needed for the night's sleep and for preparing our dinner. The facilities were nice: 2 small bedroom cubicles, a compact kitchen, and a simple sitting area at the entrance. Nothing too elaborate, but this was exactly what we needed after a long drive. That little space at the entrance with a table and few chairs quickly became our hub, a place of conversations, for laughter, and for quietly planning the next stretch of the journey.
We had a good night's sleep and were ready for a fresh start of yet another long day. Our prime destination for day 6 was Maison des Canots, the silk museum and workshop in Lyon, which shares and continues the proud history of silk making.
After Lyon, we proceeded to Chandelin, the home of Ella Maillard, the legendary Swiss traveler. It was already past midday. We stopped at a roadside eatery past Lavaux. Our bodies were starting to tell us that they needed some food and cold drinks. Swiss salads had always been our favorite, and iced coffee perfectly complemented it. We felt refreshed and then continued our drive by the side of the beautiful Lake Geneva as we drove past Montreux. We then continued on Route 9 and then turned southeast on E62 towards Yvelines.
The mist, the cloud on Lake Geneva looked magical. We wished the lakeside drive had continued for longer though. We kept driving towards Arola amidst beautiful landscape. Snow-capped mountains soon became our neighbors. The villages looked pretty with wooden balconies decorated with flowers. We had a quick stop at the local supermarket to pick up groceries for tonight's meal. We missed the turning to Campin de Molignon as it was not clearly signposted. Or was it just us? And then we had to make a U-turn to come back to it.
As we turned off the main road, it felt like a hidden world. We crossed the pizzeria, and to be honest, it really did smell tempting. However, we did not stop. We kept driving right up to the riverbank. I knew Sanjukta would be critical of how precisely I maneuvered this stretch, so I was extra careful. But hey, she gave me the pass marks. She's a kind soul, you know. The camping ground was awesome. There were a few campers around. Despite that, we found a great spot. Our friend Tundra was already parked there. And we could see their pop-up tent there too. The scenery indeed was fascinating. We enjoyed being in the middle of nature. I wish we had more than just one day of stop here. However, Sanjukta did not miss the opportunity of a little hike.
Our next mission was to cook chicken and rice Indian style. We did not miss going to the pizzeria. The recipe was simple, but it tasted out of the world. Cooking was fun, and we had the kitchen cum dining area of the campsite solely to ourselves. The aroma of the spices surely would have invited other guests, but the rain saved us. That night we ate, talked, and listened to the rain outside for hours. Setting up the rooftop tent was a challenge, and we rose up to it as our spirits were high. It took longer than our usual setting up time, though, but who cared?
The day 7 started with a beautiful sunshine, fresh coffee, and toasts in our campsite. You just cannot beat a relaxed breakfast in a beautiful alpine setting. We were already feeling the excitement to visit Ella Mailert's village later on. But this was our rest day, so we had all the time in the world to do things at our own pace. We were warned by fellow campers that the Tour du Val d'Annives would be crossing our road in the morning and there would be road closures. So to avoid unnecessary delays, we set off early. We slowed down to ensure safety of the cyclists on the road. The road from our campsite to Chandelin was a pleasant mountainous one, with beautiful sceneries, mountain passes, and a changing weather. Rain didn't dampen our spirits. We gently made the 65-kilometer distance in an hour and a half. When we reached the tourist office in Chandelin, the village appeared rather sleepy, and we were the only tourists. We had made contacts with Ella Mailard's descendants, but unfortunately, they were out of town on the day. They, however, advised us how to enter the museum with the entry code and thereafter where to find her residential home at Chala.
We talked to the local food shop owner and talked about diabetes awareness. They were very receptive to our initiative. We came to Chandelin because of Ella Maillard. We left with the feeling that she had quietly blessed our journey ahead.